Okay, so getting started with Maya, you want to have your references images in. So I'm just going to bring in NURBS plane. Okay, so just hitting 5 on the keyboard to make that solid. I'm going to bring up the attribute editor on that. So, and look at my render stats. I'm just going to make it a single-sided. Oops, there we go. And there. All right, so we're going to call this guy side ref. Side. Okay, so I find it handy just to have it so it's single-sided when I bring it up. And there we go. So, and you'll see why in a few minutes as we get going with this. All right, I'm going to make this, put this in a layer, and just name that layer, reference. Okay, so getting that guy in there. And let's pop over to our hypershade. And we'll just, I'll make a Lambert, okay, call it side ref M, ref M, there we go, and okay, and I'll just map a file into that, you guessed it, side ref file, and I'll bring in my image for this. And so this is going to be the Mark II side there. And get this guy assigned on there. All right, so now everything's nice and organized. I go to 6, and I can see this guy lined up there. Now I could make the files in Photoshop as square, and that would save me a little hassle, but not much. The way I get things lined up here to the right ratio is by just making a circle, and I'll just toss that circle somewhere about there, and I'll just scale this guy up, and when the circle in the photo is the same, matches up with the circle I have in Maya, then I know I've scaled it correctly. All right. Yeah, you can do the math on it. It's, okay, my image is this many pixels by this and blah, blah, blah. This is the easy, lazy way to do it. Okay, so there I have my first image. Okay, great. So I'm going to just duplicate that and rotate it by 90. So 90. There we go. And all right, fine. We'll put this guy back here. I'm going to pop back over into here, grab my side ref, do a right mouse button, edit, and duplicate. Duplicate shading network. Okay. Change the names. You guessed it, this is going to be the front ref file, and I just pop out into that folder, bring in the front file, voila. Okay, pop over onto this guy, change him to front. Now because before we duplicated it, we put it into the layer. That means it's automatically in the layer. I'm going to just get this guy assigned on there. Good. And scale him down. So I'm going to start by eyeballing it. Then I'll just grab my circle again. Love this little guy. And we'll just do 90. And good. And just place them. And you see how it's really easy to see the problem as soon as I get it right up next to it. So yeah, that's pretty good. All right, and so then I will duplicate this guy, move him over here, edit, and do bring up the attribute editor on him again, put him to opposite. So now when I'm looking, well, yeah, so it shows the guys on the opposite side. I find that's a handy way to work. Pop over here, once again, do an edit, duplicate shading network. You guessed it, it's just going to be, change the names to back. Back. All right. And back. Alrighty. Okay, so I assign that, and as you notice, I've put in a circle here in Photoshop just so I can use my technique, okay? Because my back image didn't have one, and I know I like to work with one. You know, I just manually put it someplace out of the way for when I start modeling. Yee, oh, that's looking horrible. There we go. Probably should check the back guy, but that doesn't matter. All right, and let's see, dupe. I will go through, before I start actually modeling this, I will be a little bit more precise. I'm rushing things now just because, well, frankly, this is fairly boring. Okay, so I just made another duplicate, did top. So notice that's, that single-sided really helps me, you know, as I'm modeling the back end of the car, I see the back end, and when I come over at the front, I can see the front, and now we're going to do the top. So grab this guy again, edit, and duplicate, and shading network. Okay, rename things. Really get in the habit of naming things as you go in Maya. It just makes it a lot easier to do advanced stuff if everything is properly labeled. Okay. So, and top, good. All right, so that's came in backwards. And, oh, being ultra lazy on this is, there are several ways I can switch it around, but the easiest thing for me to do is just rotate the whole thing around by 180 degrees. Okay, and as you see, I've just put a dot there so I could line it up properly. And you make the layer into a reference layer, then you can't select any of the stuff in there. I can kill the circle, and I start with a cube if I'm going to do it in polys. All right, or maybe I start building it with NURBS, work with it a little bit, and then convert it to polys if that's how I want my end model. So bam, and you know, it's very easy to start blocking it in and seeing how wide things need to be. And yep, so that's getting started with building a model using reference images, and it's that simple. But keep it organized and make one of these files. I have a file I call master, and it just has all this stuff built for me. Load in different images and start modeling. save it off immediately as a new name, and I'm good to go. Hope that helps. Have fun.